So yeah. So
All right, big
Ethan,
question. Big
yeah,
question.
Ethan, what's your big
Yeah.
Q?
I like to stay relevant with what's happening week over week, and a lot of it's been the same guy, which is why we keep talking about the same guy. But specifically for this week, I think this is a very big question. Um, Zack Moss or JT? And after that, I have a
Oh,
sub question of is this where we finally see it from Gibbs? So, but let's look at the Colts first. Zack Moss versus JT.
dude, what's hilarious is that preseason you asked this question and then you're like, it's still JT. But how Zach Moss has been playing has just been on fire. Like he's just been nothing but fantastic. Oh man, that's tough.
Running back five.
Yeah, running back 5 on the year.
Yeah, yeah.
Been
I
I
mean,
averaging
he's
a
he's
little
been
over 40.
very productive. He's been absolutely productive when JT was out.
like
But
he's yeah.
since I mean, JT's been back for 2 weeks now, and progressively it's gotten better and better for him. So I think they're going to roll him off that snap count, and JT will take over.
I mean,
Yes, Zach
So
Moss has
last
looked
week he
good.
was at 50% snap
yeah,
percentage.
last week is
Yeah,
the big one I would say because of that snap percentage. So 7 carries for 21 yards, not great, but he gets a touchdown. But then 7 targets, 6 catches for 38. So that also
That's
helps.
what saved him.
yeah.
Yeah, I
But
mean the
also
touchdown.
JT got 6 targets and 5 receptions.
So it
So
just I
this
think
may
it
be an offense where they utilize both of them.
I think it's a timeshare. I really
Yeah.
believe it's going to be a timeshare.
Yeah, welcome to
However,
the Bahamas for
what
your new timeshare in the Bahamas. The
yeah,
Indianapolis Colts.
No, it's timeshare in Indianapolis.
Ah, yes, your timeshare in Indianapolis, of course.
yeah, I
Where
think
everyone wants to be. Gary, Indiana.
here's how I'm feeling right now. I think JT is going to get a lot more of the goal line work eventually, and that's going to put him over Zach Moss. However, we all thought Zach Moss would be irrelevant, and because of the injuries that have happened, Kyron
Well, I mean,
Williams,
we
Monty, A
didn't know.
Chain, or A Chan,
He was the last man
Hey,
standing.
Chan.
We didn't
yeah,
know because it was supposed to be Dion, and
that's
then
true.
Dion got hurt, and then their other
Got
running back got hurt, and they're like, well, crap, who do we have left in the organization? And it was Zach Moss.
But then on top of
Yeah.
that, Deion Jackson gets cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a surprise to me.
I mean, at this point, I think I feel comfortable playing both of them. And I also think because of the running back situation, you have to. Like, think of all the players that we've lost this year. I mean, we've lost Eckler to extended time. Could we replace him with Josh Kelly? Absolutely not. So then J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and Justice Hill have kind of taken as a 50-50 timeshare, but none have done anything
Yeah.
to really improve your fantasy, like as
Yeah.
far as stats there. James Conner gets hurt. We all thought it'd be Amari DeMarcado. Now it's Keontae Ingram.
Well, and I think what we've seen from Gardner Minshew too, and his time playing is that he really likes three people: Michael Pittman, and then JT and Zach Moss. And
And
if
Josh
your name is
Downs.
not one of those three, yeah, he doesn't.
I add Josh Downs into that conversation.
Yeah,
He's
well,
getting
he
the
shut
work.
up last week.
Yeah.
Let's see if
Yeah.
that's a consistent thing first.
Yeah, that game was also over until Gardner Minshew kept throwing and throwing and throwing. And I think that's the other big key. Since Gardner Minshew is not going to be running the ball, that's going to leave a lot of the checkdowns to JT and Zach Moss. But yeah, going like back to
Yeah,
my original point, I both I think are in the have to play tier of running backs right now because so many have gotten hurt and so many have been a lot worse than we thought. Like at least Swift has taken over what we thought Kenny Gainwell would be. At least at least Achan has shown that he can make the workload work with Mozart, but Mozart being as good as he has been like shocking to say the least. Nick Chubb goes down. Jerome Ford has been fine, but they also signed Kareem Hunt. and then Kyron Williams replaced Cam Akers. But what that also really screwed things up is that now it goes, okay, we have a few replacements, but the issue still remains. The lack of running back depth is getting to be paramount as far as this point in the year.
Yeah. I mean, back on this, I think JT and Jahmyr Gibbs are going to be very similar as like kind of unsung, quiet guys who are going to elevate. Because I think Gibbs, well, this is my hope for this week. Hopefully, Gibbs shows this week that he is that dude. He gets into the end zone, gets into the end zone often, and then it opens up the eyes of frickin' Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell that this is the guy that I want toting the rock. Because, yeah, Monty's a fighter, Monty's good, but he should be your second option to Gibbs. With how they both played this year, he should be their second option, not the other way around. That
I
they've
mean,
had it.
we're at the point going on to Jahmyr Gibbs. We're at the point where we may not see Gibbs get going until after their bye week.
Why not this week?
Baltimore's run defense is actually really good, so that's going to be tough.
It hasn't been that good though. It is middle.
No,
I've looked
it's
up.
not.
I will pull up the stats.
You-
I have it pulled up because I
Oh my
looked at it.
God.
Okay, all right. I will say, that's black. Like literally,
It is
that's
not
not true at all. They haven't had a 100-yard rusher on them all season. And on top of that, Derrick Henry only had 13 yards. If it wasn't for a phantom roughing the passer call that then went into
So
75 extra yards.
they've given up 125 rushing attempts for 529 yards. They have only allowed one touchdown. And then they've allowed 26 receptions for 219 yards and a touchdown, which is why I say it's been in the middle. So they've given up a lot of yards. Maybe not as much the touchdowns, but they've given up a lot of yards rushing and receiving to running backs.
Yeah, if anything, Gibbs will get the work catching the ball. It's not
You want to
going to
know
be
the
running.
actual best run defenders: Detroit, Philly, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Cleveland have been slightly better. Seattle is a little bit better, and that's it. So there are 8 better run defenses than Baltimore. But
Still, the point stands.
well, there's actually even more than that, but I'm just going to stop counting. There's actually like 18, but I won't count them.
Okay.
Like
So-
literally, there's like you'll see the stretches. Like the Ravens are, by and large, a great run defense. That's where like it hasn't shown the full story, and they're getting moved on because of like really stupid penalties. That's kind of just been the Ravens' MO this year.
Well, they haven't allowed running backs to score touchdowns. I mean, only giving up 2 touchdowns to running backs isn't bad. But I think Jahmyr Gibbs, there's an opportunity for him to have a good day when he's the guy. Because we saw last week from Craig Reynolds when Monty got hurt that he was definitely not the guy. Like, I mean, not that
Yeah.
Craig Reynolds is a bad running back, and
He
I do
will
like
get
Craig
work
Reynolds,
though. He
but he's not the
100% will get work.
Yes, he will get work, but I think this is Gibbs's prove it week, and he's got to have it this week if he wants more touches going forwards. Because I think he has this week
Yeah.
and next week.
Okay, on this question, if he doesn't get anything going by the bye week, is that when the panic alarm starts?
Yes, because right before
I'd say
my week
so.
is Raiders. So if Monty's out versus the Raiders next week and he doesn't get anything going, that might be panic. Or it could be signals of going in the bye week. All right, he's gonna keep getting more comfortable. We want to get him more snap.
Yeah.
A higher snap percentage.
My only hope for optimism right now is that Sun God took forever to get going, and to where he was a playoff hero in his first year, but it's because that's just how he just got going by that point. I'm hoping Jahmyr Gibbs is the same way. I mean, Jameson Williams didn't have that, but largely because he had the ACL injury to start, and then got the suspension earlier this year. So
because the only bad snap percentage he had was against Green Bay, and that was matchup based. Where they want Monty to run it 32 times or whatever it was.
Yeah, 300 right after.
Other than that, he's been ramping up.
Yeah, 48, 60, 37 that gets hurt.
27, 48, 60, 37. Yeah, it gets hurt.
I mean, I personally, I don't even care about points anymore when it comes to Jahmyr Gibbs. I need to see 70 plus as far as snap percentage. If I don't see if I don't see a 70% snap percentage by the bye week, you have to ring the panic alarm.
Yeah, so he'll probably be somewhere around 60 against Baltimore, and as long as he doesn't get injured, I think it's that Raiders game that you have to have circled of like, all right, what does Gibbs do here, and is Monty back?
Yeah, so we're all in agreement. The Raiders game is that's the line right there.
Yeah, that's the one you have circled if you're a Gibbs owner.
Yep.
All right, I'm cool with that.